Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Most welcome to this video. This video is about the simple past with regular and irregular verbs. You can find this grammar skill in Book 1, Reading and Writing, Unit 2, page 36. Regular verbs. To form the simple past, we just add ed to the base form of the verb. Here you can see some base forms of some example verbs, like call, يتصل, and ask, يسأل, and want, يريد. If we want to make the past simple from these verbs, we just simply add ed. So, call becomes called, and ask, asked, and want, wanted. Let's have a look to an example. I often call my father. I called my father yesterday. قد اتصلت بأبي بأمس. I called my father yesterday. Okay. Sometimes we have in the base verb already an E at the end. In that case, we only add a D. Have a look to these examples. Like, care, يعتني, and close, يغلق. If we want to make the past simple from these verbs, we just simply add a D, because the E is already there. So it becomes liked, or cared, or closed. Let's have a look to an example. I like playing football. I liked swimming last year. كنت أحب السباحة في العام الماضي. Okay, sometimes some verbs end in Y. In that case, we need to drop the Y and add IED. Let's have a look. Study, which means يدرس. Copy, ينسخ. And try, يجرب or يحاول. So, when we want to make the past tense of study, then we need to drop the Y and add IED to the verb. So it becomes studied, or copied, or tried. For example, I study every day. And in the past, I studied yesterday. Okay, let's start now with the irregular verbs. الأفعال الشاذة. The first thing that we will do is we will talk about be. Be we use in Arabic with جملة اسمية. It has two forms in the past, was and were. Okay, for example, with the pronouns ضمائر I and he, she, it, and you, we, they, we get the following. In the present tense, we use am. For example, I am Ahmed, or I am tired, or she is a student. Okay, that is the present, but in the past, it is slightly different. In the past, we use for am and is was. and are becomes were. Was here in Arabic we say sometimes kana or kanat or kanu from the verb kana. For example, I am a student. أنا طالب. I was a student last year. كنت طالبا في العام الماضي. There are also other irregular verbs. Here are some examples. For example, like say, يقول, or make, يصنع, and go, يذهب, and have, يملك, or عنده, and some other examples there. For example, I go home at 2 o'clock. This go is an irregular verb, so we cannot add ed to it. So we say, I went home at 3 o'clock yesterday. I went home at 3 o'clock yesterday. Another example. I always do my homework. In the past, we would say, I did my homework last week. I have a Toyota Yaris. لدي Toyota Yaris. I had a Hyundai Accent last year. Now we need to discuss the negative statements. Negative statements means here a nafi. So for example, we say, I call my mother. In the past, we say is a regular verb, call, so we add ed. So we say, I called my mother yesterday. Now, how do we say this in a negative form? We say, I didn't call my mother yesterday. So what we do is we use didn't plus the base form of the verb. So do not write ed here. No, we use the base form. I didn't call my mother yesterday. ما اتصلت بأمي بأمس. Okay, now it's your turn. I closed my book. Can you make this sentence negative? You can pause the video if you want, if you need to think for a few seconds. I'm now going to give you the answer. So it's I and my book. So what we do, we use didn't plus the base form of the verb, which means I didn't close my book without the D, because it's the base form of the verb. الفعل المجرد. I didn't close my book. Okay, let's practice together. On page 37 of your book, you'll find this exercise. Here, we need to complete each sentence with the past tense of be. To remind you, we use was for the pronouns I, he, she, and it. And we use were for you, we, and they. So the answer for number 1 is I was sad to say goodbye. And number 2, you were successful in your job. Now, I want to ask you to pause this video and to finish this exercise by yourself. So please pause this video and do this exercise. Within a few seconds, I will give you the answers. Okay. Are you ready? Have you done 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? Let's have a look to the answers. She was. It was. Sami was, because Sami is he. Hua. We were. You and I. This is plural. So we use were. And the same thing for number 8. Fatima and Aisha were. Let's go to exercise C. Here we need to use the past tense of the verbs between brackets. So let's have a look together. New York City is an old city of immigrants. The Dutch, and then between brackets, buy. Buy is an irregular verb. We cannot add ed to it. So it is bought. And you can find these irregular verbs in your book or in a dictionary. Now, I want to ask you again to pause this video and to do number 2 and 3. First, you need to know if these verbs are regular or irregular. And you can look in your book to find the answer. Please pause the video. Okay, are you ready? Move for number 2 is a regular verb. The only thing we need to do is to add a d at the end. The same thing is for number 3. Live is also a regular verb. So we say 12,000 Italians lived in New York City. Now, please finish number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So pause the video and within a minute or even earlier I will give you the answers. Please pause the video, open your book, page 37-38 and do this exercise. Okay guys, are you ready? For number 4, come is an irregular verb. We cannot add a d or ed at the end. The answer is came. For number 5, be, this is the same for the previous exercise. So, exercise B. So here, 341,000 Italians. Of course, this is plural, so we say were. Make also is an irregular verb. The answer is made in the past simple. Number 7, arrive. Arrive is a regular verb, so we just simply add a d at the end. And number 8, have is a very important verb in English. It's also irregular, and we say had. Thank you for watching this video.